Hello and welcome to How to Be an Icon. I'm Jared Jones and I'm joined by Donna Cameron. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. I'm not actively being tortured by the dog next door.
No. God, we've had a day of it today of just the dog barking. We didn't even know our neighbor had a dog.
But we were supposed to record this morning.
Yes.
It is now 5 p.m.
It's nearly 6 p.m., which is, we never record this late in the day. Oh my God.
Get excited, guys. It's the late night.
It really is. Like 6 o'clock, that's crazy. No, we record like pretty early on. Like
3 p.m. is the latest.
3 p.m. is the latest,
We got to be on. We got to be like...
Exactly. So it's like, but the dog that I didn't know our neighbors had has been barking all day and has only just stopped. So we have now decided to record this episode.
If you enjoy stories about our neighbours, you can find them in previous podcasts as well, where they try to have a barbecue.
Yep, you can listen to all that on our post show. But yes, this is How to Be an Icon. If you haven't already, please give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcast, wherever it is that you get it. YouTube. We are also
LinkedIn.
We're not on LinkedIn. No,
not yet.
Not ever. I refuse.
It's the only good platform left. LinkedIn's so perfect and so pure.
No, it's not. Unlike our Instagram, which is How to Be an Icon Pod, you can follow us on there. And like I said, you can follow us on our Patreon, where you get bonus episodes of our post show. And it's patreon.com/How to Be an Icon. Today, we've got someone, because we're sort of in the Halloween season. You know, we're feeling a bit spooky with this one. Last week, we had Mary Shelley.
I was about to say it's gotten very cold, but we've had such a gorgeous autumn day today. It's been a really nice day, but imagine the weather's worse.
Exactly. It's all cold and chilly and the leaves are going brown and crunchy.
Ooh, it's rainy.
Yes. So we're talking about a man who knows all about spooks and horror.
Is there something strange in the neighborhood?
Who are you going to call Dan Aykroyd? What are your opinions on Dan Aykroyd? What do you have?
I love Dan Aykroyd. So I unintentionally, when you started doing this, being like, God, I'm into so much stuff that he's done. In
what way?
You're going to name a lot of them, but there are so many things that he's done that I go, love that, think that's great.
Yeah.
And then I get to talk about a thing that I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing about Dan Aykroyd. He's a weird man.
He is a weird man. And we are
truly a weird man that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, we're going to really discover that Dan Aykroyd, not that we needed to discover it, because I think we already knew. He's a bit of an odd fellow. And
he's such a weird guy.
But also as well, kind of very successful in not the area that you think he's successful in.
I think he is that thing of some weird people are just very successful.
Yeah.
In that you're so weird that someone goes, well, all right, let him do it.
Yeah.
Because he's so confident. Dan Aykroyd is confident.
I think so. I think that's it. I think it's one of those things that he is just very confident and really just he'll give anything a go in a way that I'm like, well, fair play.
He has ideas and the confidence to say them out loud and people go, all right,
fair enough. Of course, we have to start out like we do with every single one of these episodes. What's Dan Aykroyd's favorite drink, Donna?
I don't know, Jared. What do you think?
What do I think?
What do we think? Let's go through the annals and let's do the research. Is it Crystal Head Vodka?
You are correct. It is Crystal Head Vodka. But I'm gonna have to ask you to be more specific. He loves Crystal Head Vodka.
Is it a gimlet?
It is not a gimlet.
Ooh, okay.
This one blew my mind of of course that's his favorite is what he calls, it's an OG martini.
Oh, okay. So it's 3 ounces of vodka and nothing else.
The OG martini, which is on Crystal Head Vodka's website. So you need 2 ounces of Crystal Head Vodka. You cannot have any other. And a 1/4 ounce of dry vermouth.
Okay.
And one other ingredient, which we'll get onto. So add the Crystal Head Vodka and dry vermouth into a mixing glass, plenty of ice, stir for 15 to 20 seconds, strain into a martini glass, and garnish with baby corn.
Sorry, baby corn.
Baby corn. Yes. I
You know
have,
how traditionally martinis are.
there is a picture of.
Oh God! Oh God! That's like a whole finger of baby corn.
It's just a finger of baby corn in a martini.
Jared, I actually don't.
No,
I actually can't fathom
the idea.
because isn't the olive like? No, we have to move on from this. You've heard me like actively blue screen. That picture's insane.
Yeah, it's just a finger of baby corn in a martini.
Would you like to tell the audience the thing about I have with baby corn?
No.
We can't have baby corn in the house because Jared has to listen to me go.
Every single time you will tell me, you know that it's actually a part of the Brassica family. It's not actually a smaller corn.
It's related to broccoli. It's not corn at all.
It's not corn at all.
And I love telling you it because you get mad at me every time.
Because you tell me every time. I'm very aware of the fact that it is, in fact, not little corn. Dan Aykroyd, I don't know whether he knows that or not. He would probably be very fascinated by that fact. Anyway,
we have to move on from
we
that.
have
because
to move
otherwise,
on.
Like, this whole episode is me going, but like corn?
Yeah. Well, Dan Aykroyd, born 1st of July 1952, which also happens to be Canada Day because he's born in Ottawa, Canada.
Oh, I always forget he's Canadian.
He is Canadian.
Hence why he's funny.
Canadians
Canadians are apparently funnier than Americans.
We've covered quite a few Canadians on this show. His father was Samuel Cuthbert Peter Hugh Aykroyd. Cuthbert, a civil engineer who worked as a policy advisor for Pierre Trudeau, former Canadian Prime Minister, and father of Justin Trudeau. So,
Katy Perry's new boyfriend.
No, they're no longer together, I'm afraid, which is...
Boo.
His mother, Lorraine Helen Marie, was a secretary. So, there you go. Dan Aykroyd attended St. Patrick's High School and went to Carleton University to study sociology and criminology, but ended up dropping out and he didn't graduate.
Are we allowed to make the joke about Carleton University to do the dance from...
Yeah. Yeah, they named it after him. You know, he's a big deal.
Yeah.
He left because he wanted to work in comedy, and he performed at several nightclubs all over Canada and even ran his own speakeasy in Toronto.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How did Toronto have like a prohibition thing that you needed to run a speakeasy, or
I think it was just vibes, you know. I think that's just kind of how it was.
That's kind of fun. A bit of like, ooh.
At age 7,
he loves jazz.
He does love jazz, and we will get onto that. No, believe you me, we're going to get onto his love of jazz and blues music. At age 17, he managed to get his big break working with a young man called Lorne Michaels, who had a sketch show called The Heart and Lawn Terrific Hour.
There's like a real wild thing of like, imagine those people being like, these young upstarts, and you're like, oh, these like entire pillars of American comedy.
Well, unfortunately, The Heart and Lawn Terrific Hour only ran for a year. It wasn't like super successful.
And we never heard of them again.
No, never heard of them again. Yeah, but it was a mix of comedy sketches and musical guests. You may have heard of that before. And Dan also managed to join the Second City comedy troupe when they opened their branch in Toronto, because they're originally in Chicago.
Yeah, Second City, like a huge like improv comedy, like that's where a lot of those people just go to become people.
Well, while in the Second City comedy troupe, he met fellow comedian and massive cocaine advocate John Belushi, who...
I love you describing as cocaine advocate.
The man definitely advocated for cocaine.
He definitely showed that you can be fat and dance like that.
He really pushed it, you know. So, in 1974, we have The Tonight Show, which is hosted by Johnny Carson. He would host weekdays, and on the weekends, they would play a compilation of the week, sort of like best of on Saturdays and Sundays of what you'd seen in the week. But Carson was petitioning to move the weekend shows off so that he could work less days and have time off so that he could move the compilation shows from Saturday and Sunday to the weekday if he wanted to have a day off.
That would make more sense, because I also feel like American late night culture is very different.
Oh, yeah, it's very different.
You watch it on the
UK.
Weekend.
Yeah.
As opposed to like weeknight.
Well, yeah, I think like some people, I guess back then, that they are like tuning in every day kind of thing. But like, so it's a lot of work to do, like 5 days a week doing a show. Kind of crazy. So NBC commissioned a show from the very young Lorne Michaels from earlier, and his show was very similar to the previous one that he'd put on. He hired Dan Aykroyd initially as a writer, but throughout the development of the show, he would become a cast member. This show, of course, Saturday Night Live.
You might have heard of it.
You may have heard of it. And it was a massive success. Dan would play several iconic characters, including one of the Coneheads.
That makeup is insane. Yes. By the way, they look so silly and so fun.
And he also played Yurturk First Trunk, who is one of the two wild and crazy guys. He would do impersonations of President Jimmy Carter, President Richard Nixon, Vincent Price, and Julia Child. So, you know.
Dude!
Yeah.
This is such a weird thing that you've mentioned, because before we started recording this, I said to you, I need like an hour to just like chill out.
Yeah.
I started watching a video of Julia Child cooking scallops and was like laughing my ass off because she's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, no.
I really want to see Dan Aykroyd do that impression now.
Yeah, well, he like cuts his finger and he's like trying to keep it together, and it's just like bleeding everywhere. Which
is basically every episode of a Julia Child thing.
Yeah.
The one I watched, she actively dropped an onion on the floor and pretended to not need the onion, so she didn't have to like. And you're like, and then you do this.
Yeah. The show would often feature musical performances, and Aykroyd would perform blues classics alongside John Belushi, who would then be later known as the Blues Brothers. Aykroyd actually got John Belushi into blues music because he'd never really like heard that much of it. But Aykroyd was a lifelong fan.
John Belushi was very into punk.
Yes.
His whole thing was like he loved like the 80s punk, and all of that scene, was so into it.
Yeah, and Aykroyd was, like I say, massively into blues. He would perform at Le Hible, which is a club that featured blues artists, like many, many famous ones in Canada. So it was a big deal. But before we move on from SNL, I did want to bring up Johnny Carson again, because he hated SNL. Absolutely hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. He was not a fan. He was a fan of the day off. He was not a fan of like. He's like, I love having time off, but like this is not my. Yeah, and they always tried to keep the peace because obviously they're on the same network and stuff. And Lorne Michaels would offer him every year and say, "Oh, you should absolutely do be the guest host for the," and he would always decline. But Carson said of SNL cast member and known asshole Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase couldn't ad-lib a fart in a bean eating contest.
I don't entirely disagree.
There
is a lot of, let's say, unsavory men.
Oh, and Chevy Chase is one of them.
Maybe one of the most unsavory.
He is, difficult to work with, is putting it lightly. Yes. I'd say. So Dan is already kind of on top of the world. He's like, not that old. He's in his early 20s, and he
gets to do his favorite thing in the world, which is sing blues music on television.
Yeah, and dick about with his mates. Who wouldn't love to do that?
And, maybe some cocaine,
and maybe some cocaine. Maybe. I don't want to speculate on Dan Aykroyd's love of cocaine.
People around him were doing mountains, Scarface, comedic levels of cocaine.
What I can say is that I know a lot of people around Dan Aykroyd were doing cocaine.
I cannot confirm nor deny
that Dan was doing any. But he would start as a cast member on SNL for 4 seasons until 1979. He would continue to make SNL cameos up until the present day. He hosted the season 28 finale, which was on the 17th of May, 2003. He drops in and out, like a lot of those cast members kind of do.
I feel like SNL has the thing, and we will definitely do an episode about that just in general at some point. It is almost like people who went to war together.
Yes,
like
a little bit.
They are so like interconnected, because I think the work schedule is relentless.
It's also just like generational is the other thing as well. Like it is, I find the whole thing around SNL so much more interesting than SNL.
I agree with you, because we don't have this equivalent in the UK. Like, we don't have this sort of...
No, we don't. Like, we don't really have, like, improv comedy in the same way. Like, it's not, like, a big, massive institution. Whereas, like, there it is, like, it's kind of like the Disney for, like, comedic actors.
Yeah,
like,
you go to Second City, you go to the Groundlings.
Yeah.
You end up on SNL.
And then you go off and
do other things.
Do go off and do other
get
things.
All these connections, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he would begin to work on the first SNL movie, and this was in the form of The Blues Brothers from 1980.
Is that the first SNL film?
That is the first SNL film.
That's so fun. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. But they weren't just like an SNL novelty act. They had actually brought out an album that came out before the film in 1978 called A Briefcase Full of Blues. It sold 3.5 million copies and is one of the best-selling blues albums of all time. So, like...
that's so fun.
It's like one of those things where you're like, well, fair enough, Doug. Like, you know... They were also a touring act, sometimes with Aykroyd, sometimes not. So it just depended on whether or not he was free to do it. But yeah, The Blues Brothers is a film that you really enjoy.
A little fun bit of Donna lore. For a very long time, I would never go out on New Year's Eve. Hated going out on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I would do was hang out with my mum and get drunk and we'd watch The Blues Brothers.
That's absolutely fair.
For many, many years, and I'm going to say at least like 10.
Yeah.
Midnight would chime in and me and my mum would be dancing to The Blues Brothers. It's such a fun film. It is such a film of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It is a thing that, now that you've said it's an SNL thing, you go, oh, there's no way anyone else would have funded this.
Yeah. No, it's...
It is gorgeously stupid.
Yep.
It has Carrie Fisher in it.
Yes. Who she was dating at the time.
Some of the most insane, like, bits of a film that you've seen.
So many cameos, so many different people. Like, yeah.
And there are just things of like, someone will say something and then a building explodes.
Yeah.
And then you just have to move on.
Yeah.
Because that's not the...
That's just
they
how this
have
happens.
so much money and so much time and it's so joyous and fun is my, like, if you have not watched it, please go watch The Blues Brothers. Like, it's... I
have not watched The Blues Brothers.
Do not watch the second one.
Blues Brothers 2000.
With John Goodman.
Strange. Well, yeah, it's a long wait in between to do a second film, and then that's like...
Given the thing that's around it, like, it's a film with an awful lot of heart.
Yeah, well, and also one half of them was dead at that point. Not to jump the gun a little bit, but...
No, like, I meant the original one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like, it's an odd one why you'd do a sequel to it. But yeah, on a budget of $27.5 million, the movie grossed $115 million. Aykroyd co-wrote the movie with John Landis and received good reviews for his performance alongside Belushi.
He's almost unrecognizable as well, because we now see Dan Aykroyd as like this kind of the guy from Ghostbusters. He is tall and thin in that film.
Yeah.
He looks like a skeleton. He's great.
The Blues Brothers, the second most successful SNL film of all time. Would you like to guess what the first is?
Oh, man, is it 40-Year-Old Virgin?
No, that's not SNL. I'm going to say it and you're going to go, oh, of course.
Oh, God.
1992's Wayne's World.
Oh, God, of course.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about Wayne's World.
Yeah, no, Wayne's World is by far and away the most successful. And then in second place is The Blues Brothers.
Wait, controversial. Wayne's World
Whoa. That's a bold take. I've not seen Wayne's World in quite some time.
I don't think it's that good.
Ah.
It's not as good as The Blues Brothers. Jared?
Hot takes.
They're on a mission from God. Aretha Franklin's in that film.
She is. Again, it's a star-studded cast. There's so many cameos.
Ray Charles shoots a boy.
Unfortunately, though, on the 5th of March, 1982, John Belushi was found dead by his fitness instructor, Bill Wallace. It was later determined that he died of a drug overdose from a mixture of both cocaine and heroin. He was just 33 years old, which is like, God damn, that is...
As someone who's 32, that's absolutely tragic.
Yeah. But you don't love speedballs as much as he does, to be fair.
No one does. And also, I guess this might be bad. John Belushi had a fitness instructor?
Oh, well, to be fair to him, he's a physically fit man. He is doing you can't...
No, I understand that. I thought that was just cocaine.
No.
Because sometimes that can just like... Because you've seen like Chris Farley.
Yeah.
He does not have a fitness instructor.
It was the 80s, you know. Everyone had a fitness instructor back then. That's
just what you did. Backflips, yeah.
Aykroyd and Belushi were scheduled to present the award at the 1982 Oscars for Best Visual Effect, and that was only a few weeks after Belushi's death. Aykroyd presented the award alone, saying, "My partner would have loved to have been here to present this, given that he was something of a visual effect himself." Which I think is very, very sweet.
Oh, that's very sweet and also very sad.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he,
Also, I hope when I unfortunately pass, you don't describe me as a visual effect.
A visual effect.
Donna, an audio soundbite, would have loved to have been here.
Donna.wav would have loved to have been here.
Hi!
Oh, yeah. Hello. I'm great.
Poopy dick butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aykroyd would star in several other movies in the 1980s, though, including Trading Places, 1983, a great movie, which starred SNL alum Eddie Murphy and Jamie Lee Curtis. He had a cameo in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in 1984.
Who is he in that?
He is the guy as Indy is getting on the plane, and he has like a preposterous British accent, and he's like, "Oh, your plane, Mr. Jones."
I have seen that film so many times and have never noticed that was him.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Next time we watch that, it'd be like,
yeah,
Dan.
Yeah, no, he is in there. And he started toying around with this idea of a group of paranormal exterminators that was based on his love of parapsychology and ghosts. This would later be reworked with his friend and co-writer Harold Ramis to become Ghostbusters.
There is really famously or infamously this original draft of Ghostbusters, which apparently is bonkers.
Yes.
I have listened to interviews with Dan Aykroyd where he goes, it wasn't that weird. It's just mostly ghost stuff. I think he just made it a bit wackier, and someone had to go, hi, no one knows anything about parapsychology.
I think he was like talking about interdimensional beasts and going to hell, and it was like, this can't be filmed. Like, this is unfilmable.
Yeah,
it's
he was like a bit ahead of...
We can't... There's no way that we can put this on screen. So let's just kind of like turn it down a little bit.
I think it's also the mythology that we go, oh, this crazy first draft. And you're like, no, it's actually him just talking too much about ectoplasm and explaining why it's real.
A lot of it is speculated to be reworked into the 2009 video game that they did that was...
That would make sense.
That a lot of that first script kind of got sort of refolded back into that. It's closer to that. But yeah, Aykroyd would play Ray Stans, the plucky, optimistic ghost hunting scientist. Harold Ramis would play Egon Spengler, the deadpan brains of the group. Fellow SNL cast member and lovable old curmudgeon Bill Murray would play Peter Venkman, the sarcastic parapsychologist and sleazy guy, is what I've written.
Yeah.
He does like drug that woman. Yes, she had a spirit in her, but he did just have like...
I think Ghostbusters is so fun because I think it's just the premise of going, what if ghost people were blue collar workers?
Yeah, well,
and you go, that's such a fun concept.
You've also got Ernie Hudson, who often gets overlooked as Winston Zedmore, who is like the everyman blue collar guy who is there like doing the four just have great chemistry. They play off each other so well.
They also have great names. They have really good character names.
Like Ghostbusters is such a great film. Everything that comes after Ghostbusters, I'm sort of a bit turned off from.
We have talked about this personally many, many times, and like Ghostbusters is the weirdest, like it's the most like lightning in a bottle film there has ever been. Because I have this theory that like, why do we not have a billion Ghostbusters films that are good? Because like it's the easiest concept in the world of blue collar workers get ghosts.
Yeah.
And we just can't do it.
I mean, it really is. But on a budget of $25 to $30 million, it made $370 million.
Oh.
And that's not including all of the merchandising and toys and games and all of that stuff. It made the man a pretty penny. Like,
we will get onto this eventually, but like Ghostbusters is iconic because you say it and you go,
Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna call?
Yeah.
Na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Like all of those things immediately. There's such. Also, that logo.
It's great.
Is really good.
It's all like, again, it's
absolutely perfect in the way that only 80s films kind of felt like you just got it.
I will push back on that and say Men in Black.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Which I think Ghostbusters and Men in Black, very similar in the like, how did we not like nail this? Like we did it one time absolutely flawlessly. And then we have never been able to do it again properly.
Do we only have Men in Black because of Ghostbusters?
I think there's, I think they do definitely influence that whole thing, 100%. But I think that it's the very same thing of like, you've got a perfect cast, you've got a perfect premise, you have got everything is like so meticulous.
You got a song?
You've got a song, you've got everything to make this perfect. And it's like, how do we mess this up? Like, we have got it, we've nailed it first time. The second one is just going to improve it, and we just actively make it worse, which we'll get onto in a little bit with Ghostbusters 2. But where do all the spooky spooks come from? Like, Dan is, he loves the spooks. He's actually got a family history of ghostly activities. His great-grandfather was also a spiritual mystic. Mystic, who had been in communication with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the writer of Sherlock Holmes, and huge believer in the paranormal. So,
The reason that got such a laugh out of me is because in one of our Patreons that's coming up, I am going to talk about Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and his belief in spiritualism to a fault.
Well, look forward to that. That's going to be at patreon.com/howtobeanicon. Aykroyd said of his beliefs, I am a spiritualist, a proud wearer of the spiritualist badge. Mediums, psychics, research have gone on for many, many years. Loads of people have seen spirits, heard voices, left cold temperatures. I believe that there are, between here and there exists a fourth and fifth dimension, and they come and visit us frequently.
So, this is the thing that overlaps you and me in this, because you did a lot of research about like his film career.
Yeah.
And you had to go, hey, Donna, I know that that Dan Aykroyd's a weird man. And I go, say no more. I've seen all of this.
Yes.
Oh, God, he's great. He's great when it comes to spiritualism because he's like incredibly knowledgeable. Here's the thing. Like, he can name everyone and everything.
Yeah.
God, he's gullible. Dan Aykroyd believes anything they said to him with any amount of sincerity.
In an interview in 2025 by The Guardian, he was asked, is there anything you don't believe in? And he said, well, I don't believe in associating with beings that have no soul. Like psychic vampires, right? If you go through life, you'll either meet a psychic vampire every day or every year. You should avoid these beings. That's a good rule for life. That's what I don't believe in, associating with them. I'm sure you've met some of these beings that have drawn energy out of you. You give them 10 minutes, but after 10 minutes, you've got to run. I give everybody 10 minutes. That's my rule.
Hi, Dan, is there anything you don't believe? Well, psychic vampires are real.
But I don't...
I'm also implying that actual sanguine vampires are real.
But I believe... Don't talk to them is what I believe.
My belief is not to engage in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, your belief, Dan, is to smoke 25 cigarettes during a UFO interview, which we will get on to.
Well, he's also a big believer in UFOlogy. He is a...
Oh, sorry. Do you mean ufology?
Ufology, yeah.
Pronounce it correctly, thank you.
Sorry, ufology. He is a lifetime official member and official Hollywood consultant of MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network, which is a non-profit organization that tracks UFOs and sightings and independent UFO research. This group is volunteer-ran. That is what Wikipedia told me. I know that is not I know that there is a lot more to it than that, but this episode needs to be about an hour long.
Yeah, we can't go into MUFON.
We cannot go into MUFON.
To be a MUFON volunteer, you have to pay them. The reason Jared brings this up is because I am the only person he knows and who will ever know who has watched Dan Aykroyd on UFOs. An hour-and-a-half documentary you can find.
Aykroyd also presented Psi Factor, Chronicles of the Paranormal from 1996 to 2000, which is a sort of beyond belief fact or fiction show about aliens. So,
Whoa!
So if you don't remember... Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. It's the one with the meme where the guy's like, we made it up. Total fabrication. And he's like, and they go through like different...
You ever been to a Chinatown?
Yeah.
You ever bought a dog from a woman?
Yeah.
You ever eaten a ham sandwich on a Tuesday? Like, they're all...
Yeah, it's a sort of anthology show where they go through and they present a story to you and then they tell you at the end, is it fact or fiction? It's basically that, but it's like aliens. You know, it's like little different.
Whoa! As if I never knew this existed. That's like the most like up my alley thing in the world.
Yeah. And in 2005, Dan Aykroyd produced the DVD Dan Aykroyd Unplugged on UFOs, where he's interviewed for 80 minutes by ufologist David Sedaya, discussing in depth many aspects of the UFO phenomenon. You actually did watch a bit of this documentary.
I've watched all of this documentary.
Yes, you have watched all this documentary many times because you did watch a little bit of it for this show. Do you have anything to add on your... You made some notes.
Yeah, so this documentary is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
However, like all UFO documentaries, it is the single most boring thing you'll ever watch. To find the humor, you have to sit in it, and you have to pull back and understand what's actually happening. This is an hour and a half of Dan Aykroyd smoking cigarettes, which he lights with a match. I don't know why that cracks me up every time, but it's like you're in a hotel room and you're just like striking matches.
Yeah.
He gets through at least 2 packets of cigarettes because the brand changes. You can see he's actively smoking a different brand of cigarettes.
Jesus.
Which tells me he went downstairs to buy them and then go back up.
He got them from the little carton machine, like
110%. He is in like the shittiest motel you've ever seen. It is this guy who is just so excited that he's talking to Dan Aykroyd. He can't like not fangirl over him.
Do you think he's fangirling because of like Ghostbusters, or do you think he's fangirling because he's like, oh my God, you're oh, okay, right.
It's absolutely both. You go, oh, it's the guy from Ghostbusters and it's the ghost guy.
Oh my God, it's the LeBron James of acting, SNL actors and UFOlogy. Like that's...
There is a quote from David that's like, I met him once and it was like, if Einstein was a comic genius. And it cuts back to Dan Aykroyd just like sucking on a cigarette. He, in this interview, is like, yeah, I watched The Day the Earth Stood Still and went, aliens, because of the ozone. Like, he just comes to these insane conclusions that he never fully explains, but the guy's going, wow.
Oh my God, that's so smart.
Amazing. And then you have to watch minutes, and I'm not even joking, like actual minutes of black and white footage of white things moving around and them going, wow, heat signatures, it's definitely aliens. And you have to go, aliens.
I feel like that's every single alien documentary.
I wanted to include this quote that is incredible, which is from the interviewer. If you were the ambassador to Earth, what would you teletype to ET? To which Dan responds, as a duly designated representative of the city, county, and state of New York, I order you to cease all and any
extraterrestrial activities
and return forthwith to your solar system of origin, to the nearest convenient parallel dimension. Sorry, Dan, what would you say to aliens? As a representative of New York City, I forthby declare you have to leave. It's such a formal, serious response.
He's thought about it so many times. You don't just come up with...
He is humorless. He is not joking about this in any way, shape, or form. I also suspect he is drinking throughout this because he gets a bit weirder and looser.
It's Dan Aykroyd. That's a pretty safe. He puts corn in his drinks. Let's. He just sticks a finger of corn in there. So let's, So yeah, he loves UFOs. In 2009, he wrote a book all about the paranormal called The History of Ghosts. And to promote it, he made a special appearance on Art Bell's radio program, Coast to Coast. So he is...
Hey, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And he's also, again, it's really late at night. And I do think Dan's a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
It's not the best interview he's ever given.
No. Anyway, Hollywood. We're back at
Hollywood.
He makes movies as well. Let's just get back to that.
Sorry,
we're going back to the real thing. We're in the 80s. He starts making several movies, including Spies Like Us in 1986. She's Having a Baby, 1988.
No, she's having one.
Caddyshack 2, 1988. And My Stepmother is an Alien. Have you ever heard a more set of Hi, I'm Troy McClure type set of movies? Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from Caddyshack 2 and My Stepmother's an Alien.
They all sound fake.
They all sound absolutely fake.
They all sound like the fake posters you made for Disney films last episode when we were talking about Michael Eisner. We're like, oh no.
Yeah, they really, really do. But in 1989, he would receive an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for Driving Miss Daisy. He would ultimately lose out to Denzel Washington for the movie Glory. Also in 1989 would see the release of the long-awaited sequel to Ghostbusters, aptly called Ghostbusters 2.
It's fine.
It's not as good as the first. Like, we can all agree that it's absolutely just...
It's, you know...
Like I say, it's so Men in Black in that it's like, how did you nail the first one
and the second one's so like, because none of them want to be in it. Like, none of them enjoy it. Like,
I think that's the thing of like the thing that you can definitely say as opposed to like Men in Black 2 is like, they really didn't want to make a Ghostbusters 2. They were just like not interested. But, you know, money talks. And there was a lot of studio pressure to put it on them.
Yeah.
It was also pretty successful. On a budget of $30 to $40 million, it made 215. So it's like, that is a pretty big, like, you know.
It's also not like appalling. It's not unwatchable. It's just like, I think you just get the impression that they don't like it.
It's also just like, it just lacks that like kind of...
It lacks zazz.
It does lack zazz. It lacks a thing that I can't quite put my finger on as to why. I think it's a bit more kid-friendly, which I think is one part of it.
Well, yeah, because we do always forget, and we didn't bring this up, Dan Aykroyd gets f***ed off by a ghost in the first one.
The other thing I love about the first one that I didn't mention is that he's like, I'm going to pay tribute to my good friend, John Belushi. And he's like, yeah, this fat, green, stupid fucking alien that just eats all the food and is an asshole. Yeah, that's my tribute to my friend John Belushi. It's like, that's a terrible, terrible, like...
It would be
Slimer is an awful, like...
Tribute. It would be like if I died, God forbid.
Yeah.
Not that I'm capable of it. But it's like, oh yeah, we've replaced Donnet, but it's just someone going...
Like, there you go.
You know, like...
That's what she would have wanted. Like,
she loves that. Like, oh, what do you think?
It really is. Like, it's such a, like, disrespectful, like, wow, what a tribute to a comedic legend.
God, she loved doing podcasts, so... She would have loved this.
Yeah, it really is. I think...
And just know that when that does happen, I do intend to be replaced by...
Just a fart machine.
just endless farts.
We then need to talk about his directorial debut and finale as well. Yep, Nothing But Trouble. The movie that baffled both critics and audiences. The budget that ballooned.
I guess we have to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We've not watched it.
We've not watched it.
I really want to, but also I've heard people tell me it's boring.
So the story of how this movie came to be was that Aykroyd, his brother Peter, and their friend Robert Weiss, who is an American TV and film producer, wanted to go see a movie because Weiss had unfortunately fractured his ribs, and they wanted to go do something to take his mind off of the injury because it sucks. Fracturing your ribs sucks, I believe.
I've pulled one of my ribs a little bit, and haven't I been a baby about it?
Yeah, it's like, it sucks. So the thing that they were like is like, okay, I want to go to the cinema, but I'm not seeing the comedy because it hurts to laugh. So like, I'm just not going to do that. So they ended up going to see Hellraiser. But they actually found that most of the audience was laughing throughout the duration of the movie, and they started laughing throughout it as well.
Which is fair. I can see why in a cinema you'd start laughing at Hellraiser.
Yeah. And then they sort of had the thing of like, oh, actually, comedy and horror are actually quite close together in writing styles. Like, it's you're doing the same thing of like subversing expectations is the whole thing of it.
There is I wish I could remember who it was, but there are many, many horror writers who have said they write them like comedies. I mean, because it's the exact same thing you're doing.
Jordan Peele, obviously from Key and Peele, incredible sketch show, and he's just like on an absolute tear of incredible horror movies at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so you are kind of hitting the same emotional beats just in a slightly different way. And it's the reason a lot of horror films are very funny.
Yeah, that's it.
Because we do like to do the, ha, ha, oh God, ha.
Yeah. Dan then remembered an incident that happened to him in 1979 where he'd been caught speeding in an upstate New York town, and he was summoned on the spot to the justice of the peace and was ordered to pay a $50 fine. Aykroyd described the whole thing as a kangaroo court, and then he was invited by the justice of the peace for tea, and then ended up staying for 4 hours. So that's basically the plot of.
I was going to say, is that why he ends up playing that judge who looks insane?
Yeah, so this basically became the part of the movie that was then titled Vulcanvania. And it was aiming to be a sort of cross between Beetlejuice and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which sounds crazy, but it's like, it's sort of... I can
see it from everything I've known and understood about that film.
Yeah, I can see where this is kind of going. So the movie stars SNL alumni and noted asshole Chevy Chase. John Candy in drag and dual roles. He plays the police officer and his mute sister.
Doesn't Dan Aykroyd play like 9 different people? He plays like a ridiculous amount of roles.
He plays 2 roles, but they're quite intense roles to be playing. There's also the ever beautiful icon Demi Moore is in this movie, so it's 10 out of 10 for me. Yes, and Aykroyd would star in dual roles himself as Alvin J.P. Vulcanheiser, the 106-year-old judge who rules Vulcanvania, and during certain shots of the film, his nose looks like a penis.
This is, again, the only thing I know about this is that nose prosthetic is...
Yeah, from some angles, it does look like a knob.
And it gets bigger.
It changes size throughout the film.
That's a really funny joke, though. That's a really good joke to put in.
And he also plays Bobo, the giant mutant baby that lives in the yard.
With Little Devil?
He ends up playing Bobo because no one else wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a mess. He was directing in full prosthetics, which is like an insane thing to be doing. If you've seen the like hideous like Bobo costume that he has to wear.
Oh God, it's horrendous.
He's like sweating so much in it. Like it
does remind me of when they were doing The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
His prosthetics were so bad that the director was made to wear them for the day.
Yes.
And there is amazing behind the scenes footage of him directing in full. Here's my thing. If you're going to make your actors wear a bunch of stuff, you should also have to do it.
Well, they had to get I remember the thing for how the Grinch Stole Christmas was that they had a guy from like SEAL Team 6 come in and talk to Jim Carrey about how to cope with the thing of it. And he was like, what you have to do is you just have to smoke and just keep smoking.
You just smoke cigarettes
like
cope.
And just cope with it. Like you just have whatever you need to get through this, just do it because it's like, this is torture. You're going to be sweating. It's disgusting. He had to have the feet changed on it because it would just all pool in the bottom. It was like...
Yeah, so I think he demanded at the end of being like, no, the director also has to go through it because he was also in the chair for like 6 hours.
Yeah. And you know what? Fair play to Ron Howard because he would absolutely do that. That's
he did. He looks like a man who's struggling.
Yes, well, I bet.
Meanwhile, Dan Aykroyd's like not even bothered, just like powering through because he just is fueled by something else.
Yeah, it's just an odd movie.
No one liked it.
For some reason, Tupac's in it alongside the Digital Underground. And the movie had just like ballooned out of like just what they were like, oh yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy like $20 million comedy is like, oh, somehow it's massively expanded. And it's like, oh, it's because they've got a dinner table that's got like a toy train set on it. These sets are like massive.
Yeah.
There is a roller coaster called Mr. Bone Stripper in it that's like actually built. The one thing you can say about the film is that it's like, it's incredibly creative. Like it is, you can't fault it for its ambition and its size.
Because I do know he had the thing of like, oh, well, we did the Blues Brothers for blues music.
Yeah.
We could do this for hip hop. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
No.
No. It's absolutely.
It does not work.
He also did a mad thing where he was, he was friends with all the people who he was working with, obviously. And he gave them all playback monitors that you have like a director does. So every single actor had a playback monitor. And I think it was like John Hughes came on the set and was like, why would you have these? Like, you are the one directing this movie.
Yeah, like,
you do not need the actors to look at their stuff as they're like playing it back there and then. That's for you to make that decision. So he ended up getting rid of all of them. And it's just like, just mad things that you're just like, this is just not how movies are made. The movie was, they showed it to the Warner Brothers higher-ups, and they're like, what is this?
What have we been spending money on?
What have we been spending so much money on?
What an actual incredible day, though. How funny is that when you get to sit in front of that room full of executives and just watch them go, sorry, what is this?
Well, the thing of it is like the classic story goes that they were so preoccupied with the Vanity of the Bonfires, which is like another massive, huge box office bomb. Mm-hmm. They were like so focused on that, they completely just left Nothing But Trouble to run, because it's like, oh, it's the small little comedy. Like, what could go wrong? And it's like, oh no, it's like ballooned out of control.
No one has been keeping an eye on this, and it's truly like insane.
So they ended up having to recut the film to be a PG-13 to be moved to Christmas 91. The movie's title was changed from Valkenvania to Nothing But Trouble, a worse title. And on a budget of $45 million, it would only gross 8.4. It is a huge box office bomb. The movie was panned by critics. Hal Hinson of the Washington Post said, nothing but trouble and agony and pain and suffering and obnoxious, toxically unfunny, bad taste, nothing but miserable. So it was, just not good. And after this, Aykroyd never directed again. He would continue acting and starring in movies, but he never really hit the same heights as like Ghostbusters or Trading Places. And it's like the thing of, he wasn't really like your star of your movie. You know,
he was always like
a cameo role or like a smaller part. He was not going to be the person who you like put front and center. He was not the name on a poster that would get people in. You know,
I have also seen the thing regarding Nothing But Trouble of several different like podcasts or YouTube things of being like, this film's actually good. We can like try and improve the like thing of it. Mm-hmm. And every time they do it, the review score goes down.
I can believe
because
that.
You draw more people's attention to it, and more people go, no, this is what are you talking about?
Well, most of the time, this is where we'd end the story.
As we should.
But like the Blues Brothers, there's more to this story. Because Dan Aykroyd, whilst I think you could absolutely say icon of the 80s, Ghostbusters is an iconic movie. One of the things you have to kind of really put out there for Dan Aykroyd is his business ventures outside of acting.
And this is what makes him a smart man.
So we have to talk about this. In 1992, he teamed up with a man called Isaac Triggett, who was the co-founder of the Hard Rock Cafe, and he founded the House of Blues, with the goal of it being to hosting different kind of music genres, mostly blues, but like, a bunch of other things.
But in the same vein that the Hard Rock Cafe was like this very dedicated, like, rock, do you want to see rock and memorabilia and have a very overpriced average burger? We can do the same, but it's blues.
Yeah. By 2004, House of Blues had become the second biggest live music promoter, with 7 venues and 22 amphitheaters.
That's wild.
Yeah, right? He ended up selling the chain in 2006 to Live Nation, who basically own all of music now. Like, it's like they just own everything. Well, Ticketmaster owns everything because I think they got bought out. But anyway. And yeah, he sold it for around $350 million. That is crazy.
What?
Yeah. In 2016, Dan Aykroyd teamed up with TV producer Eric Bischoff.
Yay! I love Eric Bischoff.
Because we have to bring wrestling in where we can. And a video game company to create an online casino game that features the Blues Brothers. Aykroyd provided the voice for Elroy, which I was just like...
Meanwhile, John Belushi is...
Still
dead.
Did we really need new voice lines? Did we not have enough? We've got 2 movies worth and a bunch of SNL. Could we not have found enough there? We needed to get him back in the VO booth. Like, did we really need that? But of course, his biggest venture to date, we mentioned it at the start of the show, Crystal Head Vodka, which she started in 2007 with artist John Alexander. I've just quoted the process directly from Crystal Head's Wikipedia of how it gets made.
I love it.
The raw spirit is reduced with Newfoundland water to a 40% alcohol by volume. The liquid is filtered several times with the final filtrations through a Herxmere diamond crystals, which are actually a type of double terminated quartz rather than a diamond. Crystal Head does not use any additives in their production of their vodka. The factory product is certified kosher as well as gluten-free. So there you go.
Thank God.
Thank God.
You celiacs out there, you celiac Jews,
yeah.
you're all good.
You're all good. And in 2010, the Liquor Control Board of Ontario refused to carry Crystal Head Vodka in stores, saying that the brand might be offensive because of the bottle.
Oh.
Yeah. But
well, that's a very meh.
Yeah,
that's a very wet blanket response.
They did end up reversing the decision. In 2013, Aykroyd was spending over 90 days a year promoting on the road his vodka with signings and appearances and turning up on TV shows to talk to you about how there's no glycol in this.
I was going to say, we have seen so much of him pitching this vodka
to a bunch of people who do not care. Like,
I love watching him do it because you can do his pitch perfectly.
There's no glycol. Glycol is the thing that is in antifreeze. You don't want to be drinking the thing that is in antifreeze. In 2013, Crystal Head was awarded a gold medal of excellence at the Taste of the 2013 Prod Expo in Moscow, Russia. Russians know about vodka, so if they say it's good, you know it's good. That's the whole thing. Every single time.
Glycol.
He hits the 3 talking points. Glycol. Russians know what vodka is. It's really good. Glycol. It's in antifreeze. And you know what the thing is? It's really good. It's really good.
I bought you a bottle of Crystal Head for a birthday.
It's the best vodka I've ever had.
It's absolutely, it's
delicious.
It's delicious.
It's so
really
good.
Neither of us, for the record, neither of us are vodka drinkers. By any length.
Yeah, I'm more so than you, but you are completely just not interested in it at all. I have it's not my go-to spirit. I enjoy it, but it's not.
I was going to say, you're never going to have a vodka-forward cocktail.
I'm never going to have vodka on the rocks.
Oh, God, no. But this is the only one.
This is the only one.
I go, maybe you could make a martini out of this. And I could.
It's delicious.
It's so clear. It's so crisp.
It's so smooth.
A little lemony.
It's so smooth. It's delicious. It's
it comes in a good bottle. And the problem is, it's better than the bottle. The bottle is not the best part.
Yeah, the bottle is, and that was the thing I always thought. I thought it would be a really cool bottle. And I'm saying this as a completely neutral statement. This is not a knock on it. The bottle, it's a novelty. But you go, yeah, it's a cool bottle with just a vodka in it.
Because for a period of time, it was the very cool thing to have as well of Crystal Head Vodka. Because Dan Aykroyd hadn't put his name on it. We just knew there was a cool vodka.
He wasn't front and center of it, no.
Whereas, until later when he starts going glycol.
Now he is the Colonel Sanders of Crystal Head Vodka.
Imagine him with a little fucking bow tie, but it's a little skull.
But no, you have it, and it's oh God, not only is it a really cool bottle, the vodka's just absolutely delicious. I love Crystal Head Vodka. So this is the other thing that I really have to go back and forth on of Dan Aykroyd. He's the man who's created the only piece of COVID content that I will actively watch. Anything with if I'm watching a special episode of a show and they're on a Teams meeting because that's what they had to do.
Yeah,
I'll
any sort of lockdown, any sort of COVID,
I will turn it off. I have no interest. I do not want to relive that. I have no, except for this video, which I will link in the description.
Oh, it's incredible. It's actually incredible. We have watched it, I'm not joking, at least 6 times.
It's just so it's the thing of Dan Aykroyd talking about Crystal Head Vodka during the lockdown, which, as you do, I think it's fair to say that we all had a few too many drinks while we were in lockdown. You had to get through.
I think he was doing a thing of here's my home, but it was also just an extended promo for Crystal Head.
And we find out that he has a bartender that lives with him,
who's apparently from Newfoundland, but we don't believe that. And it's just a man.
And you can see him getting drunker and drunker throughout this video.
He is being made cocktails.
And he is finishing them.
At ratios that no cocktail has ever been made. He gets made a gimlet and he is poured a chaser of Crystal Head.
And he just pours that straight in there and just downs the thing. And you're like,
that's 4 ounces of vodka.
And it's God damn, Dan. You really just, I'm going to link it in the description because it's not that long. And honestly, he's getting drunk and he's like driving around. He's like talking about the cars.
He's like wandering around his house.
Yeah, and he's talking about a car that he owns that's got like a little figure on the front of it, like a little mascot thing, and it's like, look at his little button. Look at that little cherub's little button.
My favorite is that he goes up to his spiritualism room.
Yes.
He's got his ghost room, and he is looking at this painting that a fan had given him of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And he's like, sometimes I like to turn it upside down so you can really see the ghost. And you're like, Dan, that's such an alcoholic old man thing to say. Like, it's just the thought of you off your arse on Crystal Head, looking at this upside down painting going, it's telling me things about the afterlife. It's so funny.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love Dan Aykroyd. I can't.
He loves his life. He loves what he's done and what he does.
I love Crystal Head Vodka. I'm just going to put it out there now. I absolutely love it.
Dan, if you're listening, please,
absolutely love it. Anyway, before we get into our sort of conclusions on Dan Aykroyd, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give it a 5-star review on whatever your podcast platform of choice is, whether it's Spotify, whether it is Apple Podcast, wherever it may be. Leave us a comment down below. What is your favorite Dan Aykroyd movie or sort of SNL type? You know it when you see it kind of type of movie type thing. Leave that in the comments below on YouTube or Spotify. And please go subscribe to our Patreon. It's currently free. You get access to our spooky horror club where we're going to be talking about a very spooky spooks throughout the whole month of October. But we do have a fun Halloween episode that is coming up that I cannot wait to discuss. It's going to be very, very fun.
Ooh.
But this is a controversial question because I think we have different answers on this. Donna, is Dan Aykroyd an icon?
Yes, and I'm going to fight you when you disagree.
Oh, look, I want to say this. This is not to disrespect the man. I don't think he is. I love Dan Aykroyd.
It's a difficult one because we've discussed this, and I have to agree with you, unfortunately.
Like, doing this episode, I'm like, oh man, he's so much fun. But at the same time, he's made a lot of dog shit. Like, he has made a lot of crap movies. And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Oh man, really, unfortunately, you're only best known for 2 things.
You're known for Ghostbusters and you're known for the Blues Brothers. And again, we might have
both of which are exceptional.
They're incredible. Like, I've not made Ghostbusters or the Blues Brothers. And I will also say as well, I think this is like a bit of a different thing of, because we don't really have SNL in the UK, I think there's not as much of a sort of attachment to Dan Aykroyd and those SNL types. We just don't have that same sort of...
I would also argue, unfortunately, there are more notable alumni of SNL.
I think that's it. There are...
you are so important. And I think Dan Aykroyd is a building piece to many bigger things.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But it's being a brick doesn't make you the cathedral.
I think that is it. And I think he's a very creative guy. And it seems weird to be we could have done more. Because you already did so much. You've already done so much.
I think he figured out at a point that he didn't need to.
I think that's it.
Discovered his true passion, which was vodka.
And blues music. And vodka.
Vodka and blues music is like this.
But I absolutely love Dan Aykroyd. I can't I really want to put that out there because it seems a bit like I'm being I'm being negative and I'm being down on him. I think there are people in the space who are, if I was going to go for one of those SNL types off the top of my head that I'm well, who's an icon? It's Bill Murray. Bill Murray fills that position. And
significantly more.
And as much as I love Crystal Head Vodka, and I do, I can't just go with, well, he's made an alcohol that I like. It's...
No.
And that seems so unfair, but I don't think he's an icon. However, like I say, love the man. Think he's great.
You made the very good point of, this show is called How to Be an Icon, not How to Be a Cool Guy.
Not How to Be a Cool Guy.
Because if this show was called How to Be a Cool Guy,
I think
Dan Aykroyd's number one.
He's number
coolest
one,
guy in the world.
A1 top pick.
Love to see it.
But again, you know, we always have the thing of what lesson would you take away from Dan Aykroyd if you did want to be an icon? I think for me, I think it's a little bit of like, with Dan Aykroyd, his best work, and we've said it a lot with other people, but his best work has always come through collaboration.
Yes.
You know, the one time that he was given the book,
it was bad.
It was a mess.
It was a mess.
It was a complete...
No one liked it. It was a shit. Yeah.
A complete and utter mess. Like, everything out, like Ghostbusters, it was like, yo, Dan, rein it in a little bit, you know? And everything else that he has done that has been successful has been through collaboration. And I think he would be the first to admit that. So it's like, I think, you know, I think if Dan could have got that like sort of solid base to be like, ooh, you're a creative guy, let's rein it in a little bit. You know, I think that that would be my thing of Dan Aykroyd on a creative side of being like, don't be afraid to rein it in a little bit.
It's really interesting because my point is almost the exact opposite.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to make creative things about the weird stuff you're into.
That's fair. Because
no one else is going, well, what if I made a film about blues music?
That's true.
What if I made a film about ghosts?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
They are weird subjects that you know way more than anyone else does. And you've managed to channel it in a way that is through collaboration.
Yeah.
An actual like interesting thing. And I think that's how we get these things that are so memorable, because you go,
well, yeah, who else is making a movie about?
No one else is going like, what if ghost extermination was a blue collar job?
Yeah.
What if criminals were blues musicians? You know, like all of those like ideas are very fun.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point, and I kind of got to agree with you on that one. You know what? It's a combination of the two. You know, you can rein
the
it in.
The actual lesson is
make Crystal Head Vodka.
Get into alcohol manufacturing. It's apparently very lucrative.
Everyone's doing it, you know? Everyone's doing it. We're going to get some Danny DeVito limoncello in this show.
See, I want Cody Rhodes's Wheatley Neatly vodka. So sweetly you drink it neatly.
That's the one. Well, thank you very much for listening. Like I say, if you haven't already, please give us a subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. Leave us a 5-star review and go follow us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Pod. We've got some very fun episodes coming up in the next couple of weeks, so you're not going to want to miss it. But Donna, thank you very much for joining me as always.
Oh, thank you so much. I love Dan Aykroyd.
I love Dan Aykroyd too. And glycol home safe, everybody.
Crystal Head.